Bonjour. Adverbial pronouns I and en in French. Seriously, how do you do it? Where do you find the motivation to watch grammar videos to improve your French all the time? I see you. I see you watching those videos getting better and better. Well, it's very important to focus on important stuff like adverbial pronouns when we want to master the beautiful French grammar, which we are covering today, by the way, the adverbial pronouns I and en. You and I on a cruise along the coastal line of Grammar Beach. So pack your bikini, bring a friend or two, and fasten your seatbelt because we're off to Wonderland. And as you can see on screen, les pronoms I and en are the topic of this lesson. I and en, what is it? Is the first question we need to ask. Can we define what it is? I and en are used to replace complements of direct object, complements of indirect object, or circumstantial, complements of place. And it might sound like gibberish, but what it is easily explained through examples. And we're going to start with I. I, which is pronounced I, replaces a plus noun. And this is a very simplified explanation of the rule, but it can be a bit confusing to go in depth as to each and tiny little exception of the rule. So we're just going to start with a building block of the rule, and that'll cover 90% of the cases, which I think is interesting because this video is not going to last for hours. So it's a good use of your time, possibly. It works for ideas, okay? I can replace ideas. For example, I'm thinking about love. I'm thinking about it. It's so easy to think about love, the most beautiful thing there is. The most beautiful thing there is. And je pense à l'amour is the translation, okay? But you can replace à l'amour with I. J'y pense. J'y pense. Je pense à l'amour, j'y pense. And here you can say that à plus noun, well, has been replaced by I. It also works for things. I'm thinking about the steering column right now. And it probably happens to you now and then when you're driving your car, and then you're thinking, well, I have this steering wheel between my hands right now, and I can feel the leather of it, and it's beautiful. And I wonder how it works, what's under the hood, basically, and what that steering wheel is attached to. And well, when that happens, you can just look it up. And, I talk about steering columns for a while. Here in French, it is une colonne de direction. Je pense à une colonne de direction. J'y pense. And à une colonne de direction, all of that has been replaced with I. I'm thinking about a steering column. I'm thinking about it. Also works for places. And if you want to go to Mechanic Beach, and you say, I'm going to Mechanic Beach, I'm going there. Well, you're going to say, je vais à la plage mécanique, j'y vais. And in that case, it replaces a place. That was for I. And now watch out for when it replaces people, because sometimes it's going to work and you can replace people. Sometimes it's not going to work quite the same. So let's take an example where it works. I think about Stefania sometimes. I think about her sometimes. Je pense parfois à Stefania. J'y pense parfois. In that case, you can replace the person with the pronoun, but it's not going to work every time. For example, when you say je parle à ma famille, you can't say j'y parle. Okay, this is an example where it really doesn't work. So we're going to cross this sentence, but it's going to work in the majority of situations. So focus on when it works and then use the same patterns as a starter. Of course, you can go more in depth later, always. Oh, now is the second part of the video. Are you still with me? I hope you're still with me because it gets better. You'll see it'll get lighter and easier as we go through this lesson. En replaces de plus noun. So instead of a, preposition a, it's de. Very different. It works for ideas too. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about it. Je parle de l'amour, ou alors je parle d'amour, we could say. Je parle d'amour. J'en parle. And here it's, it's the apostrophe or the that we're replacing. So we can't use Y here or the letter Y. It's Jean. It works for things. She's eating chocolate butterflies. She's eating some. Elle mange des papillons en chocolat. Elle en mange. Okay, elle en mange replaces des papillons en chocolat. All of that, which starts with the preposition dans. And two more to go, because again, there's an exception with people. It also works for places. She comes back from Mechanic Beach. I really want to go there. She comes back from there. Elle revient de la plage mécanique. Elle en revient. So really watch for that. What we have here, the preposition, is going to be a telltale of whether you're going to have to use en or I. So in French, you really got to pay attention to small details and sometimes read between the lines, because this is exactly where you're going to find answers. Finally, we have the exception. It also works for people in the case of en, and its use is sometimes debated. However, I've read enough grammar books that can testify that you can substitute a person or people with en to use this rule here. Works for people. We love talking about Kal Palara Zamasta Fabra Brahma. On adore parler de Kal Palara Zamasta Fabra Brahma. On adore en parler. That person, whoever that is, can be replaced with en. On en parle. On parle de cette personne, on en parle. Of course, you can hear on parle. On adore parler de lui. This is also correct, but if you want to save some saliva, you can also say en parler. And that's what we covered in this video. I hope you now see the difference between en and I, because the preposition is really the key that will put you in the right, that will set you in the right direction. So with I, you have to replace a plus noun, and with en, it's de plus noun. And now is the right time, the perfect time to complete the exercise linked to this video by clicking the link below the video. Do that, study grammar, allocate some time for the practice, and you'll live happily ever after. That is my promise to you. Bye for now.